Join us as we sail 497 miles from Mana Marina up the east coast of the North Island of Aotearoa and arrive in Tauranga after 5 days. Mana Marina had been our home for 4 years, and we'd made so many great friends here, but it was time for us to set out on a new adventure. This would be our longest trip yet, one we'd been excited for and anxious about, for coastal sailing in New Zealand can be anything but predictable. We set our waypoints, had planned our trip, and we'd been looking forward to this for so long, and it was finally time. We were pretty exhausted, the emotional investment, the time prepping the boat, and the last minute work had left us feeling on the tired side. But we were also exhilarated, and finally being out here. What's for dinner there, Robbie?
Bolognese, come on. Yeah.
Good?
Good steak bowl.
Excellent. Crew's happy? Tauranga Bay, over that way. Another big sort of rolly swell day, but we're all happy. It's going well. We'd picked a good weather window for the trip up this coast. Today it was comfortable on board. 11 to 15 knot winds, following seas, was one of those days where you could sit back and relax and just enjoy the views. much to report other than pretty comfortable sea, well fed, as well rested as we can be, and very happy. Didn't really know what to expect on this trip. First coastal passage, first overnight passage, longest passage. It ticks off all of the firsts for me. All of my hopes, and that the sea state's been relatively good. We've been managing to sail most of the time. We've been taking seasickness tablets, so I haven't been sick. And yeah, it's all gone pretty smoothly. So feeling pretty happy, feeling pretty chuffed. Finally, having done some night shifts and coped with some quite variable conditions, I finally feel like I'm a sailor, which might sound funny to say, but sort of have little benchmarks in your own head about when you achieve something, and I feel like I'm achieving something, and that's what this is all about: adventure and challenge and doing something new and pushing your comfort zone all the time, but you're rewarded for it. Had dolphins on night shift playing in the nav lights. I like party time, disco, red and green, diving through the phosphorescence. It was pretty magic. And Jeff and Dean are just brilliant crew as well. So we're all having a lovely time. So we are day 4 and it's beautiful out here. We're off East Cape and we had a very relaxed morning, very calm, had a lovely cooked breakfast, had a minor panic, or major panic for me, when Jeff filled up topped up the diesel tanks, but we had the engine running while he did it and aerated the fuel. And so the engine stopped and I had a heart attack, as you can imagine. But fortunately it was just the error, so we didn't have to bleed the engine. Worked its way through and started her up again, and she was fine. But now we're under sail and it is just glorious. We're just setting up the Spinnaker to fly for the first time. Another first on this trip. Can't wait to set it up. Dean knows what he's doing, so we're learning the ropes, which is really cool. So awesome to have him on board and see how our gear works.
Yep.
And then right to the top of the mast. If you give it more spread as well, so it's quite closed up. That's better.
She's up! Got the Spinnaker up, and she is a thing of beauty. What a rubbish trip. Jeff and I had been on helm since 12 a.m, tag teaming as we beat head on into wind and waves. Our speed would pick up, and then as we hit a wave it'd drop right down. It was quite demoralizing. It seemed like we were so close, yet so far. But this is the adventure we signed up for, and once you're aboard, there's no hopping off. All you can do is keep steering, keep adjusting to the wind, and know that you'll get there in the end.
Zulu Mike X-ray 6046, Zulu Mike X-ray 6046, Nord. This is Plenty Maritime Radio 167.
Plenty Maritime Radio, this is Nord, over.
Nord, Plenty Maritime Radio, good morning, thank you for your patience. Can we try working channel 68, both, over.
Maritime Radio, this is Nord going 68. Maritime Radio, this is Nord, over.
Nord, Plenty Maritime Radio, Romeo, go ahead, over.
Maritime Radio, this is Nord, and we just wanted to check in for our 0800 hours sked this morning and extend our TR for arrival to Tauranga to 1300 hours. Over.
Nord, Plenty Maritime Radio, Romeo, understood. You want to extend your ETA to Tauranga to 1300, that's all received. Can I get your current GPS position, your course and speed? Over.
Maritime Radio, this is Nord. Our position is 37 degrees 30.63 south, 176 degrees 31.53 east. Our heading is 245 magnetic, and our speed is 4 knots. Over.
Nord, Plenty Maritime Radio, Romeo, I read 37 degrees 30, so 6 degrees 31.53 minutes east, course 245 degrees magnetic, speed 4 knots, over.
Maritime Radio, this is Nord, that's affirmative. This is Nord, out.
Nord, Plenty Maritime Radio, all received. You guys have a good watch, and we'll hear from you on arrival in Tauranga. This is Plenty Maritime returning 16. Thank you, and out.
Time Radio, this is Nord. Thank you very much for your watch, and we'll talk to you soon. This is Nord, listening on channel 16, out. Finally we saw Mount Maunganui on the horizon. I can't tell you just how excited we were. 4 nights and 5 days at sea, our longest trip yet, and we'd made it. There's my mom and dad. Woohoo! Right, gonna grab a line.
End of deep end, so I'm going to go have a nosy.
Cheers, Dino.
Oh, cheers.
Cheers.
Well done, guys.
We made it. There's Mr. Robbie.
They didn't need me. They would have been fine on their own.
Dean, good job, mate. Oh no, you made life a lot easier.
Happy crew here, alive, with a bevy.